Chapter 58A Mission, a place, a condition. A first disclaimer. All persons in this book are fictional. All statements, regardless of topic, are just that, statements. Some are rooted in empirical facts, while others are pure fantasy. My goal is to balance vision and reality, fiction and fact, in such a way that the audience can recognize themselves and continue to build upon the swarm of ideas and notions. The book has no ambition to preach an overarching message, but instead questions accepted truths. In this way, in a Socratic manner, the rest is left to the audience. The Holgerson family had in many ways been split apart. Holgerson himself, the head of the family, or let us say the original initiator, believed the split had its cause in external events. His daughter supported him, while his son Ole Robert saw it differently. He believed external circumstances were merely random events, whereas internal changes were rooted in a kind of individual development and were far more important. He felt it was far too easy to place blame on others. Out there lies the problem, out there lie the great changes. He believed that each individual had to see their own responsibility. Each person stood alone in the greater scheme of things. Holgerson himself, the father, did not fully agree with that basic outlook. He believed that the creation of meaning was shaped in environments with multiple participants. He believed ideas are created collectively. His son, Ole Robert, fundamentally disagreed. They argued about this fiercely on several occasions but rarely found common ground. Here we saw two people cut from the same cloth debating collective consciousness versus individual consciousness within a family setting. A family setting founded on sound social democratic principles. Well, it turned out not to be so social democratic after all. Ole Robert had experienced success in the ever-present market out there. He had struck the spirit of the times. He had hit a vein and become rich in a relatively short time. Father Holgerson continued working steadfastly as a piano pedagogue, earning a living but at risk of falling behind and ending up in the lower middle class. A kind of new poverty. You survive, but you cannot afford concert visits, a holiday trip, anything extra pleasant in everyday life. Social life becomes limited. Father Holgerson had ended up in this position, but he never complained. On the contrary, he took joy in entirely different things. Now it was the concerts with his daughter that gave him the greatest pleasure. They were in demand, became increasingly popular, and received an offer from none other than NRK, the Norwegian television and radio broadcaster. They showed up in front of the Store Studio building at Marienlyst in Oslo. They were excited. This was the first rehearsal, and a live broadcast would take place the following morning. Father Holgerson had maintained good friendships from his youth. Some of them had done well in arranging music for various ensembles. One old, good friend, Steinar Kvikne, had become a permanent arranger and score writer for the Norwegian Broadcasting Orchestra, KORK, a highly qualified orchestra with a number of guest conductors. Now Steinar Kvikne himself had taken on the conducting. He wanted to be close when Father Holgerson and his daughter entered the stage. He was wise to do so. That Thursday morning, with rehearsals from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., laid the foundation for the next day's recording and broadcast. Everyone was satisfied with the rehearsals. Everyone had a good feeling. This would go well in the live broadcast the following day. Friday came. At 10 a.m., live broadcast from Store Studio, Marienlyst, NRK. Both Father Holgerson and his daughters were in excellent form. This was a golden opportunity. Here they could reach a large audience across all of Norway, this small country far to the north with about 5 million inhabitants. Safe conditions, good infrastructure, friendly people. A pleasant surprise was that the son, Ole Robert, showed up. He arrived in his sea green Porsche, arm in arm with one of the city's celebrities, the one with the best body. He received great attention from the gathering press corps, almost too much. Father Holgerson and his daughter were actually overshadowed. Then it all began. Kvikne had received the green light from the control room and raised the conductor's baton. Bang! Bang! There were loud explosions. The lights went out and smoke poured from the entrance area. Panic spread, people streamed toward the exits. A new, larger blast came, and screams and cries echoed across the entire area. Police, ambulances, sirens were heard. Now it was complete chaos. Old Robert and his celebrity companion found the Porsche destroyed, completely unusable. Father Holgerson and his daughter had made it onto a bus and were on their way out of the area towards central Oslo. What happened? It turned out to be an attack from Copenhagen.